I want to talk to you today about chainsaws. Not just any chainsaws, cool chainsaws. I happen to have a few cool chainsaws here. I'll start with the newer ones and the ones I actually use, and end up with the oldest. And maybe get one of the really old ones to run today. We'll try anyways. Living in the bush, chainsaws are a pretty important thing. There's only two different types of guys in the world. Guys that have chainsaws and guys that want to have chainsaws. Now this first chainsaw here, it's Husqvarna. I pronounce it Husqvarna. A Swedish guy will pronounce it something completely different. Husqvarna is not the right. It's actually like pronounced. Let me try this. Husqvarna? Husqvarna? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so this one here, it's a 61. I believe they came out in the 80s, and they made this 61 until 1997. So there's a lot of these things still around. It's a nice little saw. It's cheap to buy because there's a lot of them. This one here has a 20-inch bar, and it's all around good for what I use it for. It's not by any means for professional. They tend to like bigger saws, longer bars, blah blah blah. Now you can tell this one being one of the early 61s because of the white top. Now this one here is a newer one, hence the charcoal gray kind of top. Now me myself, I have 4 of these 61s. I have 3 working and 1 for parts. Now I don't know a whole lot about saws. I use them a lot, but that's about it. There's guys out there, actually guys that even probably watching my channel that know way more than me. Okay, so I'm going to dig out a few more saws that I have buried here, and we'll take a look at the really cool ones. So I guess these 261s are what I started out with. I went to bed one night and I heard this, I don't know, whining noise. And got up, and this happened. That's correct. They had a baby saw. Now that one there, I believe, is from the 90s, and it's a Husqvarna 36. It's kind of the saw I go to for limbing. It's lightweight. It's good for taking off branches. Now the saw we're going to work on today, this is one of the cool ones. It's a little baby saw. Looks like a toy. Just a bit of a dangerous toy. You might say, well, that's not a saw. Well, it kind of isn't, but I figure if I can get this running, it will be awesome for limbing trees. It's just, it weighs nothing. I wish I could show you how light this actually is. So this is I think they call it like a Pro Mac 6 McCulloch. And when this came out in, I believe, 1968, it was the world's lightest chainsaw. And they made them till about 74. So that's an old saw, and it has not run for a long time. I actually inherited that saw off my dad, and I believe it was his first saw. I can remember, I think up until around the mid-70s it worked, and I never seen it after that. So it was just stored away, and when he passed away we cleaned out the house and I ended up with that somehow. Well, I guess I know how. My mom and dad, I guess they grew up during the Great Depression. I don't know why they call it great. Yeah, they grew up during the Depression. They kept everything. My dad always said it'll come in handy one day. Well, I guess I inherited that from him too, because I collect everything too, and well, they've got a name for that now. What is it now? Oh, hoarder. I'm a hoarder, I guess. But for me, it's just things with motors. Anything with an internal combustion engine, you can't throw that away. Anyways, we're gonna try to get that little McCulloch to run today. I started filming this video yesterday, and I pulled the McCulloch out and I pulled on the cord and it was seized. I haven't tried to get it to run. I don't even, honest truth is, I haven't even pulled the cord yet. So let's see if it's seized up. Seems to be seized up. So I dumped some, I took the spark plug out and I filled up the cylinder on top of the piston. I filled it up with 2-cycle oil. It took about 4 hours. I came back and gave it a pull and it broke free. So that's one less thing wrong with it. It's not seized no more. So let's see how far we can get with that one today. However, I still have one more saw to show you. This one here, I almost need a forklift to carry it, and it's pretty cool. Okay, this is extremely heavy. It's a Pioneer. It's a 1957. So as near as I can figure, this one here is a 1957 Pioneer RA, and that makes it to be about 100cc saw. There's a couple of cool things about this one. I'll have to I'll put it up on the freezer and give you a better look. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this one. It does have a cool glass sediment bowl for the fuel. The only thing missing, I believe, on this saw is the pull cord. I don't think it's seized up. Well, the chain won't move right now, but I don't think it's seized up. There is a possibility, well, somebody for sure could get this to run. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Whether I sell it to somebody that restores them, or maybe I'll see if I can get it running myself. Another cool feature here. Well, I think it's denting in my freezer, it's so heavy. If you look at the dogs, it's got one big monstrous one. I don't know if that's broken off or not, but oh, here's what I was going to show you. Got some spider webs in there, but it's dual exhaust. Anyways, right now this saw is just basically for looking at. Maybe over the winter I'll see if I can get it running. I don't know. Okay, so now getting back to this little tiny thing. It's even says behind the handle here, world's lightest chainsaw. Now, what I've read about this thing, it has a button here for chain oiler. I've read that it's actually automatic chain oiler and manual chain oiler, which that would be kind of cool. On video, you probably can't really tell the actual size of this thing, so I'll see if I can give you a little comparison here. I'll pull the spark plug out and show you that. Normal spark plug, McCulloch spark plug. It is tiny. So when I pulled it out, I did clean this spark plug up as much as possible. Because I don't have any tiny little spark plugs like this kicking around. So that big old Pioneer there, I didn't mention. I got it down the road at a garage sale. They were asking $10 and I paid $7. I don't know if I got ripped off or not. It's actually built relatively close to here, which, well, the biggest close city, which is Vancouver, British Columbia, is where they were built. Okay, so now I really want to find out whether or not that little McCulloch will make any noise or not. I know I did, when I did free up the piston, when I got it unseized, I held the spark plug and gave it a pull, and I did get a shock. So it seems there's spark. I don't know if the spark's going to be strong enough to fire it up, but maybe we should give her a try. Guess you can see why I'm inside today. It's cold out here. It's like -8 Celsius. I definitely have my doubts whether or not this will fire up, which will mean taking it apart. And I've seen other people on YouTube or whatever, I've heard that this thing is not fun to take apart. That is mixed gas I'm dumping in here. If it does fire, it'll probably smoke a lot because of the oil I used for freeing up the piston. Okay, I believe that's run. Choke. Uh-oh. Choke knob just broke off. Okay, it seemed almost like it wanted to fire up there. I just dumped some more gas in it. Okay, so it looks like it's got to come apart. I did have fresh gas in it, but who knows? It smells like old fuel, so there's probably old fuel throughout it, so we'll have to pull her apart and make her work. Thanks for watching.